Hello everyone, Monisha here. In this video, I'll be explaining about respiration. It is the most important life process. In this respiration session, first I will be explaining about cellular respiration, that is the breaking down of glucose in various pathways with oxygen, without oxygen and in lack of oxygen. So what are the process happens? Next is respiration in aquatic animals, how aquatic animals respire and the respiration in human beings. So these are the topics we are going to discuss in this session. Let us start. Let us now learn about respiration in organism, which contains the following topics. Respiration is a cellular metabolic process by which oxygen is taken in, substances are oxidized, energy is released and carbon dioxide and other metabolic products are given off. Aerobic respiration, it occurs in the presence of oxygen. It is carried out in a body for almost all living organisms. Here, food in the form of glucose is completely oxidized, leading to the release of carbon dioxide, water, and a large amount of energy. It is a two-step process and occurs in the cytoplasm and mitochondria of a living cell. The chemical reaction of aerobic respiration is C6H12O6, that is glucose, plus 6 molecule of oxygen, which gives out carbon dioxide, water and energy. Next, anaerobic respiration. It occurs in the absence of oxygen. It takes place in some lower organism like yeast and bacteria. Here, glucose is broken down into alcohol and carbon dioxide. This is also called as fermentation. The chemical equation of anaerobic respiration is glucose, which gives ethyl alcohol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. Respiration is a vital process which involves inhalation of oxygen-rich air and exhalation of carbon dioxide. The process of taking in oxygen-rich air, inhalation, and giving out carbon dioxide-rich air, exhalation, is known as breathing. Various organs involved in the process of breathing in human: nostrils, nasal cavity, windpipe, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. During breathing, the air passes through the nostrils into the nasal cavity. The mucus and hairs present inside the nose filters air and prevent small particles and microorganisms from entering into the body. From the nasal cavity, the air reaches the lungs through the windpipe and trachea. The walls of the trachea is made up of a C-shaped incomplete rings of cartilage. Trachea is further divided into two branches. Each branch is called primary bronchi. Air enters the lung with the help of bronchi. Lungs are elastic and spongy organs protected by the rib cage. With the lungs, the bronchus divided into alveolar ducts. Each alveolar ducts open into alveoli, lungs. The exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide from the blood takes place in the alveoli. Breathing involves the movement of the diaphragm and the rib cage. When we inhale air, the ribs move up and outwards, while the diaphragm moves down. The movement increases the space in the chest cavity so that air rushes into the lungs. When we exhale air, ribs move down and inwards, and the diaphragm moves up to its initial position. This reduces the size of the chest cavity so that the air is pushed out of the lungs. In this, let us discuss about cellular respiration, the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, and the process of respiration in plants. Do you know where the cells gets oxygen and the food from? We get oxygen from the air we breathe in and food from the things we eat. The digested food from the intestine and oxygen from the lungs is taken to the cells by the blood. Your cell performs function like growth, excretion, reproduction, etc. Now, your cells need energy and loads of it to perform these functions. Similarly, energy is also required to perform the activities like running and even when reading and sleeping. So what's the source of energy for your cells? The food we eat? Yes, the food you eat has to be converted into glucose for releasing energy. This task is taken care of by your digestive system, which produces the digestive juices that convert complex carbohydrates into glucose. Your blood absorbs this glucose and transport it into a cell. In the cell, this glucose is broken down to release energy. This process is called as cellular respiration. Oxygen may or may not be present in the cell during the breakdown of the glucose. When the glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release energy, this process is called as aerobic respiration. Do you know how oxygen reaches your cells? So, when you inhale air, it goes into the lungs, and from the lungs, the oxygen is absorbed by the red blood cells present in the blood and supply all the cells of the body. Your cells use this oxygen to break down glucose to release energy, carbon dioxide and water as well. You might have seen some sports person getting cramps. Have you ever noted the instances when this occur? Muscle cramp occurs when one indulges in strenuous exercise like cycling, running, or speed walking, etc. for a long time. Muscle cells require a lot of energy to perform these exercises. However, when enough oxygen is not present, anaerobic respiration takes place in the muscle cell. In this case, glucose is broken down in the absence of oxygen and energy is produced along with lactic acid. Lactic acid is toxic in nature and its accumulation in the cells causes muscle cramps. Now, if you are ever seized by muscle cramp, what would you do? Well, we can either take a hot water bath or massage the affected part. This will improve the blood circulation. So, more blood means more oxygen for your cells. Oxygen will break down the lactic acid into carbon dioxide and water, and you will feel relieved from muscle cramps. This is a sugar solution with yeast in it. So this is a yeast. Do you know how yeast gets energy to survive? Well, it is through anaerobic respiration. Yeast in the absence of oxygen breaks down glucose, releasing energy, alcohol and carbon dioxide. Since yeast releases alcohol during the respiration, it is used for preparing wine and beer. Yeast and other organisms that respire in the absence of oxygen are also known as anaerobes. Do you know that plants also respire? During the day, plants utilize carbon dioxide and oxygen released in the process of photosynthesis. And at the night, they take in oxygen from the atmosphere and give out carbon dioxide and water vapor. The entry and exit of these gases takes place through tiny pores on the leaves called stomata. Plants use oxygen to break down glucose and release energy along with carbon dioxide and water. Similarly, the root of the plant cell also make use of oxygen from the surrounding soil to produce energy. So, respiration is thus the fundamental process that helps living organism to get their energy supply. I feel you understood the process. Now let us move on to a detailed description of cellular respiration. The food material taken in during the process of nutrition is used in cell to provide energy for various life processes like digestion, excretion, etc. Diverse organisms do this in different ways. Some use oxygen to break down glucose completely into carbon dioxide water. Some use other pathways, do not involve oxygen. So let us discuss all the cases. In all the cases, that is absence of oxygen, presence of oxygen and lack of oxygen, the first step is the breakdown of glucose, that is a 6-carbon molecule, into a 3-carbon molecule called as pyruvate. This process of breaking down of 6-carbon molecule to 3-carbon molecule takes place in cytoplasm. So further, the pyruvate may convert into ethanol and carbon dioxide. This process takes place in yeast during fermentation, the process where the glucose converts into pyruvate and form ethanol and carbon dioxide in the absence of oxygen. So this process is called as anaerobic respiration. So another case is breaking down of pyruvate using oxygen. When it uses oxygen, it happens in mitochondria. This process breaks down the 3-carbon pyruvate molecule to give 3 molecule of carbon dioxide and the other product is water. Since this process takes place in the presence of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. The release of energy in this aerobic process is a lot greater than anaerobic process. So now we know about 2 cases. The last case is lack of oxygen. When there is lack of oxygen in our muscle cells, another pathway for the breakdown of pyruvate is taken. Here, the pyruvate is converted into lactic acid, which is also a 3-carbon molecule. This builds up lactic acid in our muscles during sudden activity and causes cramps. This is why some of the athletes feel cramps during their training session. Next, the energy released during these all the cases of cellular respiration is immediately used to synthesize a molecule called as ATP, which is used as a fuel to all other activities in the cell. If a cell has to perform certain activity, then it needs energy in the form of ATP. In these processes, ATP is broken down, giving rise to a fixed amount of energy, which can drive the endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction means absorption of heat energy. So that takes place in a cell. Let us know what is this ATP. What is ATP? ATP stands for adenosine triophosphate. This molecule is known as energy currency for organism because ATP gives energy to perform all the life processes. So to each and every cell in our body, ATP is needed for the processes. Now let us move on to the session called Adaptation for Breathing in Water. That is all about aquatic animals and how they get oxygen inside the water. Aquatic animals also need oxygen to live. They have to breathe in oxygen that is dissolved in water or from the air above the water using these structural adaptations such as gills, gill chambers, skin, air tube, air bubble, special nostrils, blowhole, etc. So these are the techniques which the aquatic animals use for respiration. Let us know one by one. First is gills. Animals that breathe in dissolved oxygen usually have gills. When oxygen-rich water passes over the gills, the dissolved oxygen is absorbed and carbon dioxide is given out. Next is gill chambers. Some animals breathe with gills, but they can also stay out of water for a short period of time. This is because they have gill chambers to store water for breathing on the land also. For example, crab and mud scrippers, you can see it can move on the land even without the oxygen which is available inside the water. So this uses the gill chamber to store some of the water and breathing on the land, but not for a long time. Next is skin. Some animals use their skin to take in oxygen that is dissolved in water. Such skin are usually thin and soft and must be kept wet all the time. Example, aquatic worms such as tubifex worms and flatworms, amphibians such as frogs and toads. All these uses the skin for respiration. Next is air tube. Many aquatic insects cannot take dissolved oxygen inside the water. They have to take oxygen from the air. They have air tubes for breathing tubes that extend from their bodies and stick out above the water of the surface. So what it will do, it can't take the oxygen from inside the water. Instead of that, it takes oxygen from atmosphere by using this tube which is stretched outside the water. Next is air bubble. Other aquatic insects have adapted wings, legs or hair bodies to trap air bubbles. In this way, they carry their own supply of air and can dive into the water to hunt for food. Just like we use oxygen cylinders when we go to space. In the same way, it makes its own cylinder like a bubble around it so that it can survive inside the water also, because these insects can't take the dissolved oxygen from the water. Next is special nostrils. Mammals can only breathe in oxygen from the air through their lungs. Mammals that spend a lot of time in water have nostrils at the tip of their snouts. Next, blowhole. Some aquatic mammals have special nostrils called blowholes on top of their heads. The blowholes enable them to breathe even when most of the body is underwater, only with blowhole above the water surface. For example, whale and dolphin. Let us summarize the aquatic animals and their breathing organ. Breathing organ, gills. Example, fishes, crab, shrimp, tadpoles. Skin, frog, flatworms, amphibians. Air tubes or breathing tubes, mosquito, larvae, water scorpions. Special nostrils that can be shut, dugongs, crocodiles, dolphins, whales. Dolphins and whales, nostrils or blowholes are located on the top of their heads. Many aquatic animals with lungs have special adaptations in their bodies, capable of tolerating higher concentration of carbon dioxide in their blood than most other breathing animals. This enables them to use oxygen more efficiently and stay underwater longer. Some animals like the diving beetle and water spider trap air under the wings or hairy body respectively. They can carry these air bubbles under with them. I hope you understood the adaptations of different animals for their respiration. Different animals have different level of or different techniques for their respiration. If you always want to be positive, then think like a proton and stay positive. Science facts. Venus is the only planet in the solar system that rotates in clockwise direction. If you have any doubts, queries, or any comment on this section, please comment me on the comment section below. Thank you. Thanks for your patience.